What is up, guys? Mark 1 Madness prep getting very intense behind me here. Been getting a lot done, but haven't been vlogging much because we gotta get this thing on the road in a little over a month. So we'll see what we can do here, but like I said, things have been going well, so let me get you guys caught up to date here. Started out by tearing the interior out of the truck, which everything was absolutely moldy, so just need to get it all out to pressure wash it and such. But very happy with what I found. This truck is about as clean as I thought. The other truck here, we got just holes all the way. We got a hole in the middle of the floor, and you guys can see we are totally solid here. So that's really exciting. The floor was patched there, and there's a little bit of rust in there, but I am very, very happy with that. So just gonna clean that all perfectly. Behind me here, I got a bunch of sound deadening and things to go in there, but for now, besides getting it cleaned up so that we can stop any mold and such, that is not priority, because as long as this thing runs and drives, I don't care about the interior, just to get it to madness. As you guys saw, got a lot of work done on the front end here. So the plan was to take this thing to a frame shop to get it professionally done, and started calling around, and frame shops were gonna charge me way too much money, and they were months out. And I was like, well, number one, if we're gonna get it to madness, it was too close of a schedule. And number two, I'm a YouTube channel dedicated to showing you guys how to do work yourself. So I was like, hey, well, I've never done anything quite like this, but we're gonna figure it out. So thankfully, my boss came and helped me out quite a bit. Here's some clips here of him helping out. Basically, stuck the roll bed in here, underneath here, and just used the winch just to start pulling on this thing. And I was really impressed with what he did there. If you guys saw before, this side here was pushed down here, and this side was pushed up and back about 4 inches. And so he was able to not only pull on it, but actually use another chain pulling down to actually straighten it really well. So just huge shout out to Gary for his help there. We got things really close, but the truck was actually just dragging itself because it's so light. We couldn't shock the wheels enough. So my dad actually helped me tow this thing over to the shop on a Saturday, and we pulled on it some more, hooked it up to a post behind it so it wouldn't move, and we got it very close. So you can see it's still crinkled up decent amount here, but I measured, and this end is super close to where it should be, and as far as level is, that is very close. As you guys can see, the engine is out. Huge shout out to Isaiah for coming over and helping me do that. It's just amazing working on these cars, just how simple, especially being a diesel, how simple it is. So I mean, it looks like a lot of wires, but compared to anything modern, that is nothing. Just amazing how easy it plops out. So yeah, cannot wait. All this in here is original paint, so it's gonna be fun to clean all that up and get it shining. I don't know, we'll see how it looks depending on how it turns out. Gonna end up painting some of it anyhow, but we'll go outside here and I'll show you how we're gonna fix this thing. So picked up this little guy a couple weeks ago on Marketplace, and this thing's gonna save the day. Pretty nice. I'm really excited that I found it. Little bit of rust there, but nothing major, and all we need is up here. Just random side note, which is pretty cool. This is actually came off an AC rabbit of some sorts, which I don't know how rare that is, but I feel like that's really rare. Just kind of neat to see that. You can see the AC lines right here. I'm not sure what, they got some kind of fuel pump here, and it goes back to the AC box, which is cool. I yanked it off, but it came with the tray that lays in there, which that's cool too, because those are really hard to find these days. And it's just kind of funny because someone just left the dash and everything on, and it's actually in pretty decent shape. So kind of interesting side note there. But so how we're gonna fix this thing, we're gonna pull the fenders off on the one inside, and there's actually spot welds in here. So what we'll do is drill those out and basically bring the front end off of here, and we're gonna cut the frame off about here and about here on this side. So thankfully this side, all the inner fender is straight, so we can base that off of this. And since I have a Mark 1 there and the GTI in there, thankfully I can do a ton of measuring off of those to make sure we get it good and straight. So that's really exciting, and got a few other things back inside to show you guys. So I've been watching Marketplace like a hawk and asking around, and hey, we got some parts here. So big shout out to Seb for this hood, which is something else that's neat about this, is that it's actually originally cashmere white. So that's cool that I'll have to paint the top, but underneath we still got the OE stickers and everything, and I don't need to touch anything, which that's pretty cool. got some random parts here from out of the truck, but I picked up this OE grill here on Marketplace for a pretty good deal, so excited about that. And one other thing, picked up this GTI lip, also thanks to Seb from Cool's German Auto for that, which that should look really good on there. I just absolutely love the way that the Mark 1 GTI lips look. And another note is that if things aren't perfect under here, that'll cover them up. So hopefully it won't have to be covered up. But thankfully, if it's not perfect, I don't need to worry that much about it. We are gonna keep things rolling here. Next up, gotta get these fenders off so we can actually see exactly how everything is under there. You Mark 1 guys know that's not exactly the most fun thing, but hey, it gotta happen before we can go farther. So thankfully, you can see that this fender has been off before. This one has not. So they used some kind of, I don't know if it's silicone or somehow they glue these fenders on from factory. So I think what's gonna happen is we're gonna take all the bolts out of them, hopefully get that side off. And then this side, we'll roll her outside and get the bottle torch out and heat her up, and hopefully we can get it off. As I suspected, this side was an absolute bear to get off. So this side was never removed from factory, and they glue these things on all the way around and then bolt them on and then undercoat over them on top of that. So like this here was actually over top of this bolt here. Like this is easily a 1/4 inch thick of undercoating. So thanks to my dad, went and picked up his air chisel, which this thing's sweet because you can do, that's full power, or you can just do a little bit. So just real lightly went up on there and took that off the bolts so I could get to them. The bolts came right out, and then used the bottle torch to heat it up, and actually use the air chisel, as you guys saw there, just to go behind there real easy. And that the top popped off, heated this up real good. We had full-on flames in there, but it popped off then. A little bit sad about this radio antenna here. I was just getting in a hurry and was getting annoyed at it, and this nut on here is totally tight. I couldn't get it and it was messing up the finish, so I just snipped it off. So I might regret that later, but it's what it is for now. So hey, I'm really glad that's off. Next up, we'll get this engine bay sprayed down. Can't wait to see how this cleans up real good. And then it's gonna get the fun part of cutting this thing off and starting over. So a little bit nervous about that, but it's gonna be fun to try something new. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching. Super excited with the progress so far. Next video, we're going to be cutting this front end off and welding the new one on there, so that's really exciting. Also have some Corrado content coming up, which I'm excited to show you guys that too. So hit that thumbs up button before you go, and have a good one. We'll catch you guys next time for some more Volkswagen fun. Peace!